Great, nice to see you folks from different islands, everyone tuning in here. And today we're going to talk about the human skills advantage. So, having technical skills is only part of workplace success. To truly excel, we also need human or soft skills, the ability to communicate, collaborate, and lead effectively. No matter your role or industry, you work with people. Building strong human skills creates a more efficient, positive, and productive workplace. And it helps increase your own job satisfaction too. Human skills can't be automated, so they build trust and foster connection and define great teams and leaders. So technical skills help you get the job, but human skills are what help you keep it and grow. So today we want to talk about the skills employers tell us that they hire for. And these are things like communication and teamwork and leadership and professionalism. Before we get going, we'd like to ask you a quick question. If you can find your chat there, or you can tell us if you prefer. Of the skills you see here, which skill do you most want to strengthen? Communication, leadership, teamwork, or professionalism? You could pop it in the chat. I see teamwork is very important. Communication, teamwork, leadership. Great. Of course, we think these are all really important, but as we dive more into what each of them means in the workplace, maybe you'll see, oh, I'm actually a pretty good communicator, or I could actually do some more work on my professionalism, or whatever it might be. So why do these skills matter? According to the National Associations of Colleges and Employers, we call that NACE for short, career readiness is a foundation to prepare the college educated for success in the workplace and lifelong career management. We mention this because NACE talks with employers from all over the country, and they ask them what traits they would like to see in their employees, and they rank them and they post the top 8. So these are the latest 8 career readiness competencies recognized nationwide. Employers value these the most, and this is what they're seeking out when they're hiring people. So today we're going to go over 4 of the 8: communication, teamwork, leadership, and professionalism. You can see communication, 91% of employers value it the most. Communication involves active listening, persuasion, and influencing skills. For teamwork, collaboration, managing conflicts, and actively building positive working relationships is important. Leadership, initiative, and accountability will stand out in a hiring process. And professionalism, dependability, and ethical behavior can set you apart. So human skills are your career's competitive edge, according to NACE. And we do agree. We talk to a lot of employers too, and that's what they say to us. Love a good quote here. So the strength of the team is each individual member, and the strength of each member is the team. So this quote kind of captures the essence of how individual professionalism fuels teamwork, which is guided by effective leadership. It highlights that both personal competence and collective effort are necessary for success. In a world awake to AI's impact, skill building is no longer simply a perk for employees. It's a priority for organizational success. So something really important to think about moving forward in the future, building those essential human skills. So again, skill building is not a perk anymore, it is a priority. The rise of artificial intelligence has transformed the workplace. It automates tasks and reshapes industries, and it redefines what it means to be career ready. In this new environment, skill building is no longer just a bonus or a nice to have. It's become a priority for both employees and organizations. So if they want to stay relevant in the future, these skills are crucial. Employers are looking for people who can do more than just complete tasks. They want individuals who can think critically, adapt quickly, and collaborate effectively with both people and technology. So while AI can analyze data or automate repetitive work, it can't replace your creativity, empathy, leadership, or emotional intelligence, the qualities that make you distinctly human. For college students, this means that learning doesn't stop at graduation. Developing your human skills like communication, professionalism, teamwork, and adaptability gives you a competitive edge in a tech-driven world. The future belongs to those who can blend technology with humanity, so bringing both innovation and compassion into their work. Again, the rise of artificial intelligence has changed the way we work, think, and create, but it has also reminded us of something powerful. What makes us human is what makes us valuable. In this new world, your greatest advantage isn't necessarily technology, it's your humanity. So only humans can do things like inspire and connect and build trust, resolve conflict, inspire change, and lead. So remember, technology may power the future, but people with our unique attributes will always define it. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the power of professionalism. I like what this saying here. Professionalism is something you can think of as your everyday superpower, something that can get you through the good times and the bad times. So professionalism is another essential human competency that each of us must develop. It's often misunderstood as being cold and distant, but it's actually about responsibility, integrity, and excellence. Doesn't mean sacrificing empathy or emotional intelligence. It's about communicating effectively and maintaining high standards in your work. So being reliable. It's much more than just wearing the right clothes or showing up on time. It's about your energy and your attitude that you bring to everything that you do. It's how you represent yourself and your organization and your future career when you're talking to employers. In every environment, whether it's the classroom, a campus job, or your first internship, professionalism builds your reputation and trust with others. So it shows people they can rely on you. Professionalism means showing up prepared, positive, and on time, communicating clearly and respectfully, taking initiative, and following through on what you promise you'll do. Professionalism also means accepting feedback gracefully and learning from it. So that's how we can demonstrate integrity and accountability. And it's important to do that even when no one is watching. The data definitely supports this. Employer surveys that NACE completes shows that professionalism is one of the top traits they're looking for in new hires. It's one of the most visible ways you can demonstrate your human skills. It's what helps you stand out in a crowded field, not just for what you can do, but for how you do it. When you consistently act with professionalism, people notice. It shows respect for yourself, your peers, and your organization. It also tells future employers that you can be trusted to represent their brand and their clients and their values. So remember, professionalism impacts your reputation. People remember how you carry yourself, your relationships. So it shapes how others treat you and how well you work in teams. And it impacts your opportunities. Professionalism leads to stronger recommendations and promotions and networks. It turns competence into credibility. So it transforms effort that you make into opportunity, helping you build confidence and build your personal brand. It's, again, good thing to remember. Professionalism is doing your best work even when no one is watching. So it's one thing to understand professionalism, it's another to practice it daily. It isn't something you can turn on and off. Professionalism is built through small, consistent actions that show maturity, respect, and reliability. So some everyday ways that we can practice demonstrating professionalism in our lives is to be prepared. So before coming to, say, a group discussion or a meeting, review your materials, plan ahead, be ready with those deadlines. Communicate clearly, be responsive to emails and texts in a timely manner and respectful manner. Be accountable. If you make a mistake, own it. That's a big one. Own the mistake and make it right. Show initiative. Offer to help, take on new challenges, and stay engaged. And it really helps to stay positive. So handle stress with grace. The way that you act in your environment will help shape your environment. So staying positive helps you feel positive and the people that you're working with. In a college, professionalism could look like being on time for class, actively participating and supporting classmates. In the workplace, it means respecting others' time, staying open to feedback, and maintaining integrity, even when no one is watching. So again, the key message here is to recognize that professionalism is actually a habit, not just something that you do in the moment. And professionalism begins with communication. Communication is another very important human skill because of all the other human skills are built on the ability to communicate clearly and professionally. So it's more than just sending a message, it is also the ability to receive messages, listen actively, and hear what's being said. Many times we focus on learning to speak or write clearly, but this is only one component of communication, and it might not even be the most important one. The most important thing in communication is hearing what isn't said. So that means listening and learning to hear what may not be said directly. So human communication, of course, is complex. The first thing that comes to mind when we hear the word communication is often words either spoken or written. But the words we speak and hear are just one way to communicate. And some studies show that most of our communication takes place through other means. Humans communicate in lots of different ways. There is nonverbal communication, such as eye contact and how we hold ourselves, our posture. Verbal communication, of course, with words, both written and spoken, and body language. So our gestures, our facial expressions, and even touching. And there's also artistic communication, so utilizing images and creative media. Studies show that up to 70% of the information we communicate comes through nonverbal communication. So gestures, eye contact, lack thereof, posture, clothing, and all the other ways we use our bodies to send messages. Other studies show that if a person's nonverbal communication and verbal communication don't match in terms of the message, the listener is more likely to doubt what the speaker is saying. So improving your nonverbal communication can help improve your overall ability to send and receive messages. Improving your nonverbal communication starts with awareness. Pay attention to how you use your body when you're talking or listening to someone. An open stance, frequent but non-continuous eye contact, nods, and a relaxed posture, help to communicate that you are open and approachable and that you are communicating honestly. I know sometimes I want to hold my arms because it's more comfortable, but I remind myself that a closed stance, like folding your arms across your chest, these things don't send a message that I'm communicating. So also things like shifting from foot to foot, pacing, or otherwise moving continuously can indicate impatience. We do many things without thinking about them, especially when we are otherwise busy. So take some time to notice both your own nonverbal communication and others, and especially your reaction to others. And receiving messages is just as important as sending them. So true listening means fully taking in verbal and nonverbal cues, processing them and showing understanding. So too often we listen to respond instead of listening to understand. Active listening is a key skill that involves giving full attention, staying present, and reflecting back what you hear. For example, reiterating what the person is saying something like, "So I hear that you're saying," and repeat back to them in your own words what they're saying is a great way to show that you're listening. You can also use nonverbal feedback. So check for understanding, speak with I statements to ensure clear communication. Open, honest communication is the key to building workplace relationships and demonstrating professionalism. While you do not need to discuss personal or private topics in the workplace, Being transparent and honest about work matters and generally being willing to communicate with others is vital. People can sense when someone is hiding something or withholding information and tend not to trust them. So, this can damage workplace trust and relationships, and it may lead to lower productivity and morale. Each of us has a different level of comfort with what we choose to disclose about ourselves, but being willing to share parts of yourself with your colleagues also helps to build rapport with your colleagues. Kim is going to talk more about teamwork.
Okay. So we have a quote from Michael Jordan. Talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence win championships. Okay. So we're moving on to teamwork. So even if you work independently, you will ultimately collaborate with others. Building effective teams can be challenging, especially when members bring diverse skills and perspectives. Using a few core techniques can help create a cohesive team that leverages everyone's strengths and ensures meaningful contributions from all. Okay, so teamwork makes the dream work, but only if you work at it. So teamwork isn't just dividing tasks, it's about combining strengths. And let's see, so what great teams do. So number one, they communicate clearly. Great teams talk and they listen. They ask questions, clarify goals, and respect different communication styles. Good communication prevents assumptions, and that's where the real collaboration begins. Respect differences. Every team member brings unique perspectives, skills, and experiences. Diversity of thoughts leads to stronger and more creative solutions. So remember, the goal isn't to agree on everything, it's to learn from each other. Okay, number three, stay accountable. Reliability builds trust. When you do what you say, when you do what you say you'll do, and you own it when you fall short, others learn they can count on you. Accountability is the foundation of every successful team. Okay, next is adapt and problem solve. Things won't always go as planned, right? Because life happens. So deadlines shift, people disagree, technology fails. Teams that stay flexible and focus on solutions instead of blame thrive under pressure. Okay, and lastly, celebrate wins together. Taking time to acknowledge small victories keep motivation high and reminds everyone that you're in this together. Okay, so now we're going to talk about identifying capabilities. So Einstein said that everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its life thinking it is stupid. When building a team, it is key to identify the different talents, skills, and capabilities each team member brings. Identifying each team member's strength ensures that work is distributed effectively and talent is fully utilized. Assigning tasks outside someone's skill set can set the team back, while leveraging diverse abilities leads to stronger results. When forming or joining a team, take time to learn which each person brings, their skills, experience, and connection, and find ways to combine those strengths to achieve the best outcome. Okay, getting into your role. When you're given a role on a team, own it fully. Understand what's expected of you and what you can expect from others. Even if the role is new or stretches your skills, step into it with confidence. This also means stepping out of other roles that you might have had in the past or that you've played before. You want to use clear, open communication to ensure everyone understands their responsibilities and boundaries. Teamwork becomes far more effective and less stressful when each member knows the role, where it begins and where it ends. Okay, so we're going to learn the whole process. So fully embracing your role isn't in a team is crucial, yet it's equally important to understand the entire project's process and understanding the entire project as a whole. This broader perspective not only clarifies your responsibilities, but it fosters better collaboration and problem solving. Actively engaging with the team members outside your area builds rapport and ensures everyone is prepared to assist in case of emergency. So you want to remember that you're stronger together. Teamwork is more than collaboration, it's connection. It's what turns individual effort into shared success. The best teams communicate openly, trust deeply, and lift each other up higher. In every workplace, success depends on your ability to collaborate, to share ideas, respect others, and stay accountable. Those are the human skills that employers value most. Okay, we have another quote. The ratio of we's to I's is the best indicator of development of a team. Louis B. Bergon. Okay, so now we're going to talk about leadership. Simply speaking, leadership is defined as the ability to lead. Leadership involves guiding and inspiring individuals or groups toward a common goal, making decisions, fostering collaboration, and motivating others. Effective leaders possess skills like communication, empathy, and the ability to empower others. And leadership is observed in diverse contexts, such as business, politics, community organizations, everyday interpersonal relationships. Okay, so let's talk about a personal inventory. So according to Kouzes and Posner, might have butchered their names there, the study that of the most important leadership qualities ranked in order. So first we have honest, forward-looking or forward-thinking, competent, inspiring, cooperative, determined, courageous, caring, imaginative, and supportive. So these qualities reflect the key attributes that contribute to effective leadership. Okay, so now we're going to talk about creating an action plan. So how can we incorporate leadership concepts into our lives? One way is to set leadership goals. You want to prioritize qualities for development. You want to address these goals. So take specific actions like joining a team sport for teamwork or participating maybe in Toastmasters for improved communication, right? Seek inspiration. You can do this by exploring diverse leaders' approaches through books or online research. Choose a role model, maybe. You want to select a personality-aligned role model. You could read biographies or watch videos for insight. You want to seek experience. So take a leadership role in a social group for varied different people interactions. And create a mission statement. Envision your legacy and leadership style, and then write a defining statement. See what that will look like. Okay, so how do you develop leadership as a college student? Okay, you could participate in student government. This develops leadership, collaboration, and communication skills while representing your peers and making tangible impacts on the campus. You can join or even start a club so you can explore your interests and connect with others who share your passions. If you can't find a club that inspires you, you can always talk to an advisor about starting one. So leadership begins with initiative. Get involved in sports or on-campus activities. Team sports and campus events teach teamwork, discipline, and adaptability, all essential soft skills that employers value. You can find volunteer opportunities. So volunteering builds empathy, professionalism, and community awareness. It's also a great way to expand your network and gain the real world experience. Okay, get an internship. Internships help you apply classroom knowledge in professional settings. You learn workplace communication, responsibility, and how to navigate real challenges. And lastly, complete maybe a passion project. Work on something that excites you. Maybe start a blog or create an art portfolio, build a small business or organize an event. Passion projects demonstrate creativity, initiative, and perseverance. All these traits employers notice. Okay. So now we're going to we talked about leadership. We're going to start to talk about influencing skills. The best leaders inspire others to act and make them feel it was their own idea. True leadership isn't about taking credit. It's about creating the environment for success. The same applies to class projects. If your group organized and was moving forward and that A that you might have received reflects your leadership as much as the team's effort, you gained experience, earned results, and proved that you could lead effectively. Okay. So next we're going to talk about Aristotle. He was the master of the art of persuasion. And he outlines his thinking in his work rhetoric, where he identifies three important factors. We have ethos, pathos, and logos. So ethos is credibility, and this convinces through character, fostering trust and fellowship. If you're respectful and honest, people will be more likely to follow you because of your character. Next, we have pathos, which is emotional. This appeals to your feelings, your emotions, to capture attention and gain support. There's a reason why there's so many babies, puppies, and kittens in TV commercials. Pathos allows you to tie into emotional triggers that will capture a person's attention and enlist their support. And lastly, we have logos, which is logical, and this persuades through intellect. This was Aristotle's favorite and his forte, but not everyone reacts on a rational level. And this is why appealing to emotions and presenting logical arguments is important, but maintaining credibility is paramount. So ideally, one should appeal to emotions, which is pathos, support arguments with logic, logos, and most importantly, uphold credibility consistently, and that is ethos. Okay, so moving from Aristotle, we're going to talk briefly about psychologist Robert B. Cialdini. And he once said, "It is through the influence process that we generate and manage change." In his studies, he outlined 5 universal principles of influence, which are useful and effective in a wide range of circumstances. So the first one is being receptive. People are more willing to do things for you if you've already done something reciprocated, something for them first. So couples do this all the time, giving into little things so they can go out later with friends, maybe without the kids, or a chance to watch the game later. The second is commitment. You cannot get people to commit to you or your vision if you don't see your own commitment in it. And once you provide a solid, consistent example, they will feel that they have to do the same. Okay, next we have authority. If people believe you know what you're talking about and accept your expertise, they are far more likely to follow you. Okay, then we have social validation. As independents, we like to consider ourselves. We also love to be part of a crowd, and people will always jump on the bandwagon if their friends like the band. Okay, and lastly, we have friendship. People listen to their friends. If they like you, they are far more likely to support you. Also, a pleasant personality can make up for a multitude of failures. More than one leader has been abandoned at the first sign of trouble because they are not very well liked. Okay, so leadership starts with influence. So to be a leader, you must first see yourself as a leader. Based on what you learned so far, you know what qualities are important in a leader, and you can prioritize them as they apply to you. So remember, leadership isn't about titles, it's about influence. And true leadership shows up when you take initiative and lead by example, inspire others through consistency and integrity. You want to listen first, then speak with empathy and purpose. You want to remember to lift others up and help them shine, right? Use your influence to create positive change in your team, classroom, or your community. So leadership begins with self-awareness, understanding how your words, actions, and attitudes influence others. Okay, so this workshop was a little bit shorter, and I know it's coming to a close, but we hope that your journey to improve your human skills is just beginning. We wish you the best of luck in all of your adventures. We have a few words of the wise for you, and we have some extra time too if you have any questions or comments.